Hey guys, so I wanted to do another storytelling video because I like doing those. You guys get to hear a lot about what we've been through, what we've done in our lives. So I wanted to talk about when we got to Des Moines, New Mexico, and how it came about with us staying there, what went on, our story behind Des Moines, New Mexico. So, first of all, Des Moines, New Mexico is a small little town. It is made up of 180 people. It is desert and it is surrounded by 23 volcanoes, if I am correct. And you find beautiful obsidian there. Like, I have a whole bunch. Let me see if I can find some to show you. For example, we have this one. Then we got the ones that have more green to them. And these are all come from the volcanoes there. They are volcanic rocks. And when they get hot enough, they turn to almost this glassy look. It's kind of hard to see in there. Whereas if I can find my mahogany one, I would show you that one. That one's beautiful. So I just don't know where it is right now. Well, yeah, we got a whole bunch of them around here because I went crazy with collecting the obsidian because they're absolutely beautiful rocks. And it's hard to see, it's hard to get them. Plus, don't mind my looking around for more to show you. They're hard to get. Most people spend money on them at the store. And so if I can get them naturally, why not? So I collected a whole bunch of them. They're great for protection. They're great for protection from evil spirits. They're protection of negative energy. The protection of psychic protection. If you're a psychic like I am and you connect to other people's energies, it protects you as well with that. It's just very safe, protects you and your home and your loved ones. So I love having them around. God made lots of different rocks and crystals and nature things to help us, and so it's cool to know that. Anyway, so we had our minivan at the time, and this van had 2 radiator leaks already. We had tried patching it didn't work. We ended up hitting a deer when we were in Michigan before we went there, so our shit was all messed up. But we had rigged it with rope and wire, and the radiator was actually running a little more smooth since we had hit the deer, which again is God, because who would think I'm gonna hit a big buck in Michigan and it's gonna actually help the radiator. But we had to pull everything forward and tie it with strings and move the lights in. We had tape and string, everything all over this car. No, we had people that we talked to after we hit the car. They didn't think we'd be able to do anything. They were like, "You're ruined, you don't got anything." And we were like, "Nah, we got this." So we ended up breaking everything up. And then we get to New Mexico, and before we got to New Mexico, we went to Colorado. We went to pick up weed in Colorado. And it started snowing really bad, and it got really cold. And we didn't have heat in the van because our radiator blew. You can't use anything. So we decided we were going to try and make it to New Mexico thinking the snow would stop there. Yes, it would be cold, but at least we wouldn't be stuck in the snow. So we took these really tight, small back roads with the headlights that got hit by a deer. So they're all over the place. You can't really see. And we're trying to get down this road. So I'm going really slow down this dark back road that we thought would be safer on because the highway was backed up. They got the mountains in Colorado. You got to be careful of animals coming off the mountain. You can't see. People are speeding around you. So you think back roads are safer. Well, we ended up coming to a big big rig, and he was just parked in the middle of the road. He had slid off, and we had to go into the grass to get up onto the road, which was hard with the tires we had too. We had a spare tire on one side, and we didn't have good brakes. We had a leak in the brake line, so our van was a mess. But it was big enough to where we had a twin mattress in the back. We had Sandy. She's back there so you can see her face. We had Sandy, and we had another dog named Jackson at the time who was a pit bull. So we had other people to think about. And so we get to Des Moines, New Mexico's rest area, which is this small little rest area, but it's taken well care of, very nice. The bathrooms are great there. The people that work there take care of it really well. And we sleep in our van. Now, we kept the car running as long as we could and we would turn it off. Normally, someone would get up at like 3 a.m. and start the vehicle just to make sure it didn't freeze, because we had put water in the radiator throughout the times. Since the radiator blew, we couldn't afford to buy coolant all the time, so you kept up with the water, and you know, you don't realize it gets too cold. That's not gonna work. Okay, so we ended up smoking almost all the weed we got from Colorado. We ended up passing out in the back seat. We got all the animals together on this twin mattress. All of a sudden, the light, you wake up to the light, it's almost 7 a.m. and we're like, oh my goodness, we didn't start the van. So we go and we start the van. Like literally, it was so bad. Like it blew 110%. Like this radiator was blown. Somehow, this van made it the 20 miles to the closest gas station. Now, we're freezing. I literally felt like we were freezing to death. My hands were so cold. We get out, we go into the gas station, and it's still snowing. And I'm crying, and I literally broke down crying. And I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. No one's helping us. Like, our families weren't involved. We didn't know what we were gonna do. So the cashier woman ends up telling us that the road's closed ahead because the snow is so bad. You can't go into Colorado and you can't come out the other way. The roads are just terrible. They have everything shut down. And then she tells us that the hotel that was there was keeping people who were stuck in town, and they may even open up the church. And she called and tried to get a room for us at the hotel. She was going to pay for it, which God bless her for saying that. And the woman that ran the hotel ended up saying like they were booked. They had every room already taken care of, like too many people there. So they called these people that ran the church, and they asked them if we could stay there. And they were like, yeah, of course. We pulled our van up. We ended up getting into the church. So while we were staying in the church, like this church was beautiful, a nice little Baptist church, and they had a nice area for us to stay in. It had a bathroom, a shower, a kitchen, a living room is what it looked like. And then of course they had tables set up for where like they would go and do like Sunday school and stuff. So we end up staying there. They hear our story. They know what we're going through. So they end up letting us stay at this church for 2 weeks. And the woman who helped us the most with this church ended up getting us jobs at this restaurant called Sierra Grande. And it's the only restaurant that is in Des Moines, New Mexico, like in this little area. And so we go and meet the boss, and it shocks me. She wasn't real keen on giving me a job at the time because she thought we were just going to work for 2 weeks and leave, and there was no point. But I was like, no, like we don't have a car that works anymore. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, this van was dead. We could not use it.